when you walk into the supermarket, grocery store, anything, it always seems like the first place you end up in is the produce section. I mean, they're usually pretty proud of their produce, right? It's a competitive area for supermarkets and other kind of markets. And that's why I see a lot of activity there. You know what I mean? So it kind of surprises me that people aren't eating perhaps as much as they should be.
Yeah, you're right. It is a beautiful section of the supermarket. I know I like to go there at the very beginning because it really inspires what I'm going to be cooking, and what the other foods that I'll be picking up for my meals during the week. But it's just, there's so many issues and barriers, as you know, for people consuming healthier diets at home. And for example, time is the number one cited barrier. And now we have more focus on costs, like food costs. So sometimes people perceive that these fresh items in the produce aisle are going to be very expensive. So, really trying to help people find accessible, affordable ways to eat more plant-based diets, more healthful diets is a focus of mine.
So Sharon, what tips would you had? I know you mentioned barriers. I think that, food preparation, and in the produce, it seems like there's been a lot of innovation to have things sort of almost pre-done for us. I mean, everything from, you've got like on one end of the spectrum, you got like the bag of carrots, with the leafy greens still on top of them. And at the other end of the spectrum, you have your bag salads. So, what do you recommend?
Yeah, I'm a fan of anything that works for people that helps them get these healthier meals on the table. So if you find that bag salads are a great solution for you, then that's fine. And you can, as you mentioned, you can find pre-chopped vegetables now. That can make it so much easier to make a soup or a stir fry. And I'm a big fan of frozen produce, for example, because that's already been chopped up. A lot of times people will perceive that there's less nutrition in frozen, but that's not true. It's basically harvested at its peak. So, that can really reduce the preparation time, and it can be an inexpensive option as well. So anything that works for you, I just say go for it.
So, Mike, January AI, we've seen this company before. It's pretty cool. They've combined metabolic science with millions of data points to bring you groundbreaking predictive AI, which enables you to see how any ingredient will impact your body without needing a CGM sensor.
The big breakthrough for them is they can basically tell you what the impact is going to be on your blood sugar of anything you eat without actually having one of those continuous glucose monitors connected to your body. So it's very non-invasive. It's super easy to use, and it's kind of democratizing in a way, like this way to get access to all this really interesting health-related personalized data without actually spending a ton of money. So I think it's a pretty cool thing.
I also like kind of the just take a picture of something and it gives you data. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, they have this really cool app where you just snap a picture of your meal, whatever it is, banana or like a sandwich, and it'll say, hey, this is what the calories are. This is going to be the impact on your blood sugar.
If I get like a, huge gross pizza, is it just going to be like, no,
don't
eat it?
It'll start smoking. Like smoke will start coming from your phone and
out of your phone.
Yeah. Red alert.
It'll do like those old cartoon, like horns to go,
yeah, the eyes will pop out. Big alert, big red alert. It also, like, one of the cool things is it encourages you with praise. Like, it actually reinforces good habits, like even taking naps. Like, I was talking to Sheen, the CEO. She said it actually gives you praise for napping. Who doesn't want to be praised for napping? I've been waiting my whole life for someone to congratulate me on my naps. So I feel like we're there.
Good nap, Mike. That was a good nap you did there.
Let's celebrate napping. I feel like it's not celebrated enough.
That should be the tagline for January AI. Celebrate napping.
Yes.
There's so many hacks and so many different tips. And like when you think about like let's say it's a winter squash, like a butternut squash or something like that, they're so hard. I mean, they're like a bowling ball. And I remember reading something, it said, hey, just put it in the microwave, just soften it a little bit. So it's just easier to cut. You're not like risking some sort of, like kitchen injury by hacking into this bowling ball. And then of course, as you mentioned, there's already the pre-cut, which can be a little bit more. And I'm thinking, again, not apples to oranges, but apples to apples. The pre-cut butternut squash could be a little bit more, per pound. But if no food is nutritious and every food is expensive if you don't eat it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It has to work for you. And if there are ways, I love your tip on the squash. I do that at home, and I try to share that in my recipes because it is really hard to peel squash. And if you're You know, a lot of recipes call for cubed butternut squash. So just literally putting it in the microwave for like, I do it for about 4 minutes. It just makes a huge difference. So little things like that,
You know,
and
Sherry,
then appliances too, like tools, if there are any tools, like I use my food processor to chop things. So anything like that to make it easier.
of having bags of the little baby peas in the freezer. They just, or they go into, you talked about being more plant forward, or just what if you're adding, just like the little baby peas to any recipe, and by just upping the plant powered protein and nutrition right there, right? So think outside of the box. You're so great with recipes.
Oh, thank you. And I always have the baby peas in my freezer. There's certain things that you will always find: corn, frozen peas, edamame. Those are always going to be in my freezer because I think the quality is good. And as you say, you could be out of produce, but you could toss that in your soup, and now you're introducing some plant protein, some nutrients, some fiber. So again, what works for people to get it done is important.